Welcome to Monetize Your Influence. It's your girl, Sherry Summer Bell. Hello. I'm actually recording because I'm getting excited to go on vacation, a well needed vacation. I'm so glad that they made vacation where you kind of paid in advance and ahead of time so you don't have to think about it. You just have to pack your bags and go. So I wanted to make sure that my podcast episode was recorded because you see what's on my desk. If you're on YouTube, you can see it. If you're not, I'm going to tell you. If you're tuning into the podcast, I'm going to tell you. So what this Spice Island is, I'm going to shake it up. If you're on the podcast and can't see me, I want you to guess what you think it is. This spice is mustard seed. It's tiny bottles of mustard seed. Why is it on my work desk? It's on my desk because there are days and seasons like this, like I'm going through, that I need to remember that all I have to do is have faith, the grain of a mustard seed. And if I have faith, the grain of a mustard seed, if I have faith, the grain of a mustard seed, that allows me to keep going in the storm, keep going in. This is a word that you probably will not hear me use often. Keep going in your suffering season. I don't like that word. And even when I say the word, I'm like, oh, trying to take it back. I said it. I don't even want to say those words. Learning how to keep going by having faith, the grain. That's what I'm shaking up. Shaking up the faith, the grain of a mustard seed. It reminds me how small my faith need to be to trust the process and have faith. Now, here's the thing. The good news is you're not alone in your suffering. So if you're going through something right now, you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not crazy. You're not alone if you're feeling like, what is going on? What is going on with the world? What is going on? Whew. But the good news is the reason why I can have faith, the grain of a mustard seed, the reason why I can tell women to be bold and come into a space like our virtual selling 7-figure challenge. The reason why I can do that is because of the faith, because of me knowing what I know, because there's a secret. There's a secret that nobody's telling you about. That secret, you have a weapon. You have a weapon for storm. You see, that's the thing people are not telling you. When you're in this season, and God knows we're in it, you have a weapon for the storm. Let me say it again. You have a weapon for the storm. And so many times we forget about the fact that we have that weapon. God left us with a weapon. Now, are we using it? That's a different story. And we have to learn how to grab our weapon. And this is not a knife. This is not a gun. This is none of that. This is what we call Bible. The Bible. The words that are in the Bible. He told us, he left us what we need to do. And you can go to Proverbs and go to Ecclesiastics, all of those chapters will tell you. He said there will be harvest time and seed time. And this says that I was reading it this morning and say that you should enjoy life. You should enjoy life because life will be lifing. And one of the things why I think, I don't want to say I wear challenges well, because no one want that. But the reason why I wear it well, it's because I know a secret a lot of people who don't know. And they know, but they're not using it to their advantage. And that is because I believe in the biblical word. I believe that at the end of the day, God will take care of it. And all I have to do is hold on and have faith. So in the meantime, so if I believe that, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for you if that's what you truly believe? So if you're going through anything right now, whether it's mentally, physically, financially, this podcast is for you. And I'm here to tell you, I cannot physically say I'm walking you through step one, step two, step three. I can only be honest with you and telling you what I am doing to be able to honor that and be able to honor that for me. That's all I can do is kind of tell you what I'm doing to honor that situation. Whenever I'm going through changes that I didn't expect, because I heard Macy from Sales Girl, shout out to her. She was talking about suffering. And one thing she talked about, suffering has two components. There's a suffering where you put yourself through suffering, where you are working out, physically working out. And that's one part. You're the one who put it on yourself, right? You're the one who caused it on yourself. And then there is this suffering that you didn't cause. Life. Because the one that when you put it on yourself, that type of suffering, you kind of know how to handle that. I'm such a solutionist that every time there's a problem, there's a solution. I'm ready to solve it. I'm so ready to solve it. The solution is to be like, okay, no, we can do this. That's a problem. But when you have another suffering where you did not cause and you had nothing to do with, and you didn't contribute to it, and you're trying to say, well, what do I do in this space? How do I handle this? Like, Lord, what do I do? When you reach that space, it can become challenging. It can become feeling like, oh my God, like it really can feel like, what's going on? What's causing this? And this is a moment where you feel like you need to give in because you didn't cause the suffering. So here's what we don't understand. That's the one where it blindside you because you're like, hold up, where did you come from? Where did you come? So the first thing you try to do in that style of suffering, you try to figure it out on your own. You try to fight it physically with the flesh, trying to figure it out because naturally, if you're like me, you try to solve it. And then you realize like this type of situation that you may be going through, whether it's a health condition, financial condition, marriage situation, divorce situation, whatever it may be for you, you realize quickly that this situation I don't even want to use the word solve because you never really solve it, but you can't get over on the other side fighting it with a physical flesh. It won't take because the physical flesh sometimes didn't really cause it. So you have to fight the situation from a spiritual realm. Now, I don't want to get too godly in here. You're like, we're going to church. But that's why you have to have a power greater than yourself. When people enter entrepreneurship and they not have a power greater than themselves, I wonder why. Why don't they? Because a power greater than yourself help you to identify and acknowledge that you're not leading you. There's something, someone, some spirit that is leading you that is higher than you. So that means you can, that's a good news for you. If we're following here, number 3, it's a good news for you because you can cast all your cares. Now, when I say cast all your cares, that doesn't mean as a human being, we're not going to be like, not still have the worry. We still will have that. But we still have to cast all our cares on them or on him. So, and that's what I'm doing. That's the first thing I'm doing. That's the first clarity of what I'm doing. That's the first step. The second step that I'm doing, I know I went out of order, but forgive me. May you have grace and mercy on me because it's taking a lot for me to talk about. The second thing I'm doing is I got super lean on the way I see my business. I got super lean on the way my business operates. And what I mean by that is when you're going through, you start looking at things that you would normally wouldn't focus on. And one of the things that I saw in my business, I saw where leads, where I would say I have a lead problem in my business, right? Because when you're winning on top, what you think the problem is not really the problem, but you're so high at the top that you don't see it. But it was until you start suffering, then you start checking like, how did the devil come in? Where did the devil come in? Let me give you an example. So I've been running ads for a while now, and I've been hosting my How to Get People to Say Yes to Your Masterclass. I must have screamed that from the top of my lungs. So if you're not in there, if you're under the sound of my voice, you've never been to class, why not? If you've never been to Masterclass, if you've never been to our challenge, that's okay. That's great because we have our virtual selling 7-figure challenges coming up. So you get to experience me in 5 days straight. So that's awesome. So so when I realized like, oh man, all these leads are coming in, but as these leads were coming in, the problem was the sales were dropping. Like, I'm like, how am I getting all these leads? Which clearly I know how to generate leads. Traffic. But then, so when I started looking back at my email list, some people get an email, some wasn't getting the email. So my workflow was broken. Matter of fact, there was somebody that was supposed to be on this podcast today, and I realized, she didn't get the workflow. She didn't get it. I don't know what the link. It was broken. I don't know why she didn't get it. So it's like, that's another thing I got to fix. So I said to myself, hold up. Is this my area of expertise? No. Is this what you're paying for? Yes. So if you're paying somebody for that and once your leads start leaking, sales start leaking. Because leads are the bloodline of your business. Because leads turn into sales, sales turns into money. So you have to get super lean. One of the great opportunity in suffering is knowing that it gives you time to step back and just look what's falling. And let me say this before I end out, because this was not planned to be a pull out podcast. The good news of suffering is that we know the end. We know the outcome, right? Like, I know you're not on this podcast listening to me thinking that I'm gonna sit here and tell you that, no. You hear me saying the word, but I just want to make sure that we're clear on the other side of that suffering. We already know the outcome. We already know we win, right? So let's we can skip ahead. But if we skip ahead, which most of us want to do, we'll miss the lesson. Because suffering builds character. That's what your Bible said, not me. Read the Bible. And when you come out on the other side, you're like, if I've been through that. Like, I remember when I was going through a divorce, and people like, how do you go through that divorce with such grace? Such grace. And for me, because I'm aware of who I serve, who I am, and whose I am, and I know at the end of the day, the outcome is going to be great for both sides, both parties involved. Even if they don't feel like we both are going to be fine. So that's how I could hold my head up high. Like, even now, I'm getting lean on the things that I have on the this is a great time to look at your subscription, look at all the things that you have, and get real lean and say, I don't want that. But don't you dare. there's certain things that I don't cut during my stuff, because I would when you're going through a storm, you feel like you're just supposed to stay in like a little cocoon, and you're just supposed to stay there. You're just supposed to be in this little cocoon, this little shell, and don't come out of that shell when you're going through a storm. But truth of the matter is that's not how God made us. Cause the longer you stay in that storm, the longer you stay in that cocoon and don't want to come out like a butterfly, you're suffering, right? So you have to surround yourself with people who brings you joy, because weeping is door for a night. Joy comes in the morning. Ah, yes, and that's something we can praise. And that's something we can praise because we know that. And on top of that, I'm like, okay, I know I've been here before. So I know what to do. But I'm just grateful for any test that God has given me. I'm grateful for it. I receive it. I acknowledge it. I receive it. I'm thankful for it. So I'm just grateful for the test that God has given me. I am humbly honored that he see me fit to go through the storm, because clearly he must have thought that I could handle it. Whew, but I'm ready for the season of when he tried me with having me $1 billion problems. I'm ready for those seasons. But he didn't say that walking with him was going to be easy. He didn't say that at all. So, and we knew that. And I'm just so grateful to do life with amazing people like my husband, my son. And you see how my perspective is not staying in what's going on, right? And let me be clear, there's not like a thing going on, but the world may make you believe that based on how you like, oh my God, I'm going through this, going through divorce, my finances are not together. The world might make you believe that. So I want to be this place to say, okay, it's tough, but we can do tough stuff. We can do tough things. I think it was Alex Hormozy. I think he said something about if you do hard things, you live a better life than if you do easy things. So if that is the case, sign me up. So I want to challenge you today, because I always love challenging you, to let you know that you're not alone and God got you. All right, that's all I got for you. I got to head out I'm going on vacation. So if you call our team and we didn't get back to you, or I didn't get back to you for something specific, understand that God got you. And we got you too. When I get back, we will be ready to go for if you have not already, based on when you're hearing this, make sure you register for our virtual selling 7-figure challenge. It is an amazing challenge. It teaches you the power of buyer psychology and how rewire your money mindset, and how to mass enroll your ideal client, how to create that conversion system that get people to say yes to you. All right. And I see you on the other side. It's your girl, Sherry Somerville. Thank you for tuning in. And I see you on the next episode.